Guys, welcome back to Linda's Resin Room. I told you all I was going to do this huge betta fish, so let's do a huge betta fish. I'm going to do it in chameleon colors and paint them in. I do have some eyes that I want to use, but I think they're a size too big. I think these are 8s and 6s would work better, but I think it'll be okay. Those are my eyes. And my colors is this Saye Twilight Rose. It's a chameleon powder. And then I have the chameleon powder Violet's resin. So I am going to do the body in violet and the rest. No, let's do the body since there's more blue in the eyes in the Twilight Rose and then the fins in the violet. I'm going to paint it first just because I know that I'll knock the eyes out if I paint it second after I go try to glue the eyes in, and then I'll be fighting with them. So let me see if I can get this open. Just a second. I haven't used either one of these colors. Give me some tweezers. Okay, here we go. Now we got it. All right, got my little cleaner here. Clean my brush. Now let's paint this body. I hope these colors look pretty. I'm going to pour this with deep pour. I'm going to mix it with black and see how that looks. I hope I can make it pretty and do it justice. This is such a beautiful mold. It's huge. Not quite sure how many ounces it uses. Looks like maybe 30 or so. I hope this is a pretty color. I'm going to get down in there, make sure I get all these little scales good. And like I said, I'm going to clean up around the eyes before I glue them in. And hopefully I don't have an issue and I can get them in there. Let's turn this head up and see if I can see down in there. I don't know if you guys can see or not. It's a beautiful mold. Huge. But it is gorgeous. I'm not going to get that powder out of there until I paint the whole thing. Okay, I think we got the body. Well, about got the wrong lid. All right. Close that up. Now, open this one. This one's a little thicker. I didn't want to take my nail. I don't have much of a nail. My sister was doing my nails, but I just haven't had time to get back there in a while, and I thought I'd give my nails a break. So I've got to go soak the rest of this acrylic off. Okay. Now, I hope these colors look good together. Black usually makes chameleon powders look so pretty. I'm hoping it does it for this. Ooh, about spilt it. You see me? Okay. Get this one here. I don't mind if the colors blend a little near the body. Just because it is a fish, so I mean, the color's got to connect somewhere. Just not sure about that cyan color. Looks pretty, and then you paint it on the mold and it's a completely different color. And I don't like when they do that because then they're usually ugly, in my opinion. And I like most colors, but a lot of these chameleon powders I don't. Just because they don't look the way you wanted them to. At least it's easy to paint. Definitely not hard. Paint your mica powder on dry. Goes on very well. So I like Lindasresin products. I don't think I've ever had a bad product from them. Okay. We're getting there. I keep wanting to dip it into the brush cleaner thing. Okay. Turn this around. We are on the last bit. That is a pretty blue, isn't it? I probably should have put this on a time lapse, but you guys know that you can fast forward through it. Okay, almost. And then pray that I can get those eyes in there. Because little fish eyes would be so cute in this. I've got a size smaller, but they're dragon eyes. And slits wouldn't look good in a fish. He needs round pupils. Okay. I think we got it. All right. Put the lid on that. Let me clean this off. sloth bag. Told you I love sloths. I'm going to Panama City in August. And in Panama City, they have a little zoo down there. And you can pay a little extra and spend 15 minutes with the sloths and feed them and pet them. And it is awesome. But if you ever go, support their little zoo. All right, let's get us a little swab and some alcohol. And I need a new one. Let's see, where did I put them? There they are. I'll get 2 of them just in case. All right, I'm just going to spritz it with a little bit of 99% isopropyl, and then I do squeeze it a little bit, so I don't want it to be soaked. Now, if I can just go around that eye and get that color out. Okay, I got that one. Now, I want it to be clean. Okay. All right, I got that one. I think I need a little bit of color around the bottom of that though. So just a second here. I'm going to take this little tiny brush and just get a little tiny bit of color on it. Well, if it'll stick. Doesn't want to stick. Okay, now I'm just going to see if I can go right around the bottom there where I've messed it up, and then I'm going to take some more alcohol. Where's my brush? What one do I have? This one? Okay. Now let's try this alcohol again. Wrong one. Okay. Squeeze it out. Okay. Well, I'm doing the same thing. Okay. Think we got it. I still took the bottom out. Again. Okay. Got it. Perfect. Now, alright guys, let's see if we can glue some eyes in. Lord, let them stick. Okay, where's my gloves? I know I've laid a pair of gloves there. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is try to get a little drop of UV resin right down in there. Okay. And now I'm going to take this eye that's a little bit too big. Wished it was a little smaller. See if I can press it right down in there. And see if I can get them to stay. And there could be a bubble. But we'll see. All right. I don't know how much of his eye you'll see or how much of the color you'll see, just because of the eye is a little too big. These look more like a 10. Okay. Try not to knock that out of there. Now let's try to do the other one. I don't know if you guys can see down in here. Just put a little drop down in the eye. Flip this over. Get a hold of it. And let me see if I can drop him right down in there. I am going to put this under the light for 5 minutes, just to make sure it's good and cured. I only use the handheld light long enough to get it to hold, and then finish with my bigger UV. I just want to make sure it's good and cured, and I hope they don't break off and float through the resin when I pour it in there. Okay. Alright guys, I am going to put that up. Let's put him under a light. Okay, I'm going to have to take it apart just so I can get him on there. Let me see if I can turn this bottom one on. Alright guys, I'll see you back in 5 minutes. Alright guys, so this has been under the light for 5 minutes. I've mixed up some deep pour resin. I've got 24 ounces here. I hope it's enough, but I don't know. We'll see. And I hope this degasses very well and doesn't give me bubbles, because I've, this deep pour does a lot of bubbles and it doesn't do good in the debubbler. So they are coming up. I don't want to pour them down in there. All right. I think they'll pop. I hope. The only part I'm worried about is under the head. Getting bubbles under there. And I can't spritz it with any alcohol, which I don't like to spritz my molds with alcohol anyways, just because of alcohol will break down the mold. Alright, so let's just, maybe if I pour over here first and let it run down in the head, then it can degas before it gets down in there. I can hope, right? Just let it fill every area up. I don't want any bubbles down in there. This is a big mold. And I hope it's enough to fill this up. I'm not sure it'll be enough to fill it completely, but it's going to fill it pretty full. Okay, I'm going to give that just a few minutes before I pour the rest because it's filling that head up. I want to make sure I don't get any kind of... Oh, I just squeezed it. Did you see me? Oh, I could pop the eyes loose doing that. Okay, if we get bubbles, we're just going to have to deal with them. I think it's already filled up in there anyways. Just do a little bit. Gotta be careful with this mold. I do have some of it exposed. Just pouring, let it fill up the fins. I think we're going to be good. I think I am full. All right, that is awesome. How often does that ever happen? Not often, does it? When a mold this big. I make sure that I don't overflow him. I really probably should set something under that. What could I set? Here we go. I think that'll hold that up perfect. I was kind of domed a little bit here. I didn't want it to overflow on me. All right, guys, we are full. I'm not sure if I can scrape that cup in there or not. I'm going to try. There's not much. I think it'll hold it. Okay. It's a good thing about deep pours. It's so thin. It just pours out. Okay. I am going to let this cup drain. If I can get it to set up. There we go. Now, let's clean this stick off. Okay. That is it, guys. Just don't want him to overflow anywhere. I think he's good. Okay. Now, I'm just going to little heat, not a whole lot. Being very careful. Alright, guys. I see some glitter coming up from where I painted the mold. And the black I used the Tea Expert epoxy pigment paste for mixing in my resin because I could just dump it down in there after I done poured the resin and didn't have to clean my stick off. Alright, got my baby wipe here. I'm always making a mess. Alrighty guys, we are going to let this cure up, and as soon as it's ready, we will come back for a demold. So I'll see you guys then. Guys, it's been a couple of days. I think this thing is cured. So let's get it out of the mold. And this thing's huge. Just trying to break the mold loose around it. Alright. See if maybe if I flip it over. Oh, that purple's pretty. I hope that pinky red color's just as pretty. I think it's turned blue. Well, y'all looks kind of the same color, doesn't he? Maybe his body looks a little darker. Alright, and there's our little eyes. If you guys can see his little eye. Okay. Still pretty. He's very pretty. Just wish the colors were more different. Alright. I'll see you all back for the next video. Bye.